mean, how do you start even talking about daddy amekufa?
Yeah.
You know? Or mom amekufa. It is hard for you. Like if you are a spouse, you've lost your spouse, it will be very hard. So breaking the news to the children will need someone. When the parents' health is deteriorating, they start imagining and they have fears.
Mm-hmm.
So they are fearing, what if he died? What if mom? What if dad? And eventually when it happens, it is not easy. As much as they were anticipating, they knew maybe one day this person would die. It is not easy to break news to such a child. Or despite of the age, yeah, I know society will tend to assume this child is too small. Will she or he understand? Yes, they understand. They feel the pain. Children feel the pain. And the need for us as a society. Be it in school, teachers being sensitive. There are teachers who are so brutal, they don't even realize this child just lost the dad that I feel. Maybe what they are doing, the rebellion I'm seeing, but is it connected to the loss? They're trying to express themselves in this negative way. How can we?
Hi there. Good afternoon, good evening, good night. Bonjour. From wherever you are across the world. Welcome to Child of Mine Show. My name is Elsie Kayugira. So if you've not subscribed, please be part of this family. In this space, we talk about parenting wholesomely and parenting godly. So today, our topic we want to talk about is, what's the place of children when loss happens? Supposing a child has lost a parent, where do we place them? How do we help them to mourn? Most of the times they end up being neglected. We assume they'll get better, or perhaps they don't know, and when they know they'll be old enough to, take care of themselves and things will move on and blah, 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 blah. But no, that is not the case. Children also get hurt. They also mourn. They also feel a sense of separation. So we want to talk about this. Kindly delve in, share in your views. And to tackle this today with me is a friend of mine, a counseling psychologist by profession. Welcome, Sana Jessica. It's good to have you.
Asante.
Maybe you can introduce yourself further.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Elsie, for having me on this show. This child of mine. Oh, yes. It sounds quite nice.
Thank you.
So, my name is Jessica Bara. As you've heard from Elsie, I'm a counseling psychologist by profession. And I'm here to talk about loss. When that loss happens, where is the place for this child or the children? Because sometimes the society has assumed that this one is too small to understand. No, it affects them. So, kindly settle down. Let's talk about this. And you can also book for a session if you're struggling how to handle that loss that happened and your children are being affected and you don't know how to do about it. Just reach out and you'll be helped. Through some counseling sessions, we are able to help you deal with that.
Yeah. First of all, this has come to mind. How do you even begin to break the news of loss to a child? Perhaps it's their mother, perhaps it's the father, or their sibling. How do we break the news to them in a way that, I don't know, maybe won't break them, but I don't know.
Yeah, I can imagine. It is not easy, Elsie. I mean, you've been to my show and just sharing how when my husband died, I wasn't able to break the news to my children. It's devastating. I mean, how do you start even talking about daddy amekufa?
Yeah.
Or mom amekufa? It is hard for you. Like if you are a spouse, you've lost your spouse, it will be very hard. So breaking the news to the children will need someone to be there for you. And of course, before you can share about having some, and sometimes, for example, if this parent has been unwell for a long time, there's what we call anticipated loss. as in you are seeing they might not make it. However, there's that part that tells us like something will happen, they will not leave us. So there's that hope that we are holding on, hoping that they will recover from the illness. So even children tend to see when the parents' health is deteriorating, they start imagining and they have fears. So they are fearing, what if he died? What if mom? What if dad? And eventually when it happens, it is not easy. As much as they were anticipating, they knew maybe one day this person will die. It is not easy to break news to such a child. Or despite of the age, yeah, I know society will tend to assume this child is too small. Will she or he understand? Yes, they understand. They feel the pain. The same way you're feeling the pain this person has died, will never be there for you. These children equally feel the same pain you're feeling. Of course, grief is unique. We can't feel the same way.
Yeah.
But the loss, that loss affects even that child, irrespective of the age. So there is need for us to break the news in a way that do not leave this child devastated. So how do you break the news? I would suggest you get a family member who is close to these children or this child, someone who knows them better, or even a family friend. They have a relationship with this child, as opposed to just getting a stranger.
Yeah.
Because a stranger will not even, it will be very hard for them to connect. Why a stranger? Also, it will leave them all the more devastated. But if you got like a friend, for example, if it's a cousin to this child who is older, an aunt, a brother or a sister to the late, and just to come and, break the news when these children are also calm. Of course, now when death happens, it's very hard for someone to contain themselves. But get someone who is a little bit sober, or a counseling psychologist, for example. You can get a counselor because they are trained how to prepare the children and eventually break the news. They just break the news and allow these children to grieve. Let them cry. Let them do whatever they want to do at that particular moment, because if you don't allow them to express those emotions and they allow the emotions to be, held within, they're likely to affect them. Even the adults, like everyone needs to be given time to go through that period of grief.
Okay.
Yes.
Can a child, like, in the grieving moments, throw tantrums?
Yes.
Oh.
Actually, what sometimes, for example, let me give an example in a school setting. Because this is something I experienced. My second-born son's friend lost a father. And he lost a father when he had just cleared high school. This is the last-born son of the family. He expected that he would take him to the best high school because he had promised, but he died. He just died. So this particular young man, life was never the same. This young man has struggled because of the death of his father that was never dealt with. So there are some expressions, like in a very negative way, to an extent where, like if he's in a teenager, for example, they start becoming rebellious, being disobedient, being violent. Some even resort to drugs, at least to numb the pain. Like, I can't just take this pain.
It's too much pain.
Mother or my father. Even a girl. They start doing things that you never expected because they're trying to deal with that loss in a very negative way. And that's why breaking the news, giving this person time to grieve, and even working with them as they go through the grief. Because you don't just tell them and expect what I know.
Yes.
They can never understand. They wanted this father, mother. Even their own sibling, maybe they love their sibling. They can't imagine they never had their sibling with them, playing with them. It is too much for this child. So just working with them through that. To find peace, as we call it, because it's quite painful.
Yeah. So most of the times, In the spaces I've been, in Kenya, Africa setup, we tend to assume they're not crying, but but when they play with their friends out there, you can hear them talk about them missing their daddy, and then within a few minutes they've forgotten it and they've gone back to play. And in that moment, we feel they are okay, they are doing well, and at times, most of the times actually, we seclude them even from this whole process of just planning maybe for the burial and mourning, even eulogizing. We really seclude them. We make so many assumptions that this one has maybe overcome it, they've grown out of it, or somehow the child's heart will heal fast because their hearts have not been exposed to so many hearts. What's your take on that?
What I'm hearing is a lot of assumptions. Assumptions. We ignore. We think like they'll get over it. They're children. No. As a counseling psychologist, Elsie, I will tell you, I've been to sessions with grown-ups, like they're in their 50s. But because of the loss of their parent, they got stuck there. Yes, they have gone through life, they have gotten married, they have gotten jobs. But outside, the world thinks they are doing well. But in the real sense, there's something in them that is still not right with this person. So for children, as a mental health practitioner, I would encourage us as, our parents, caregivers, let's be a bit sensitive. Let's help our children when they go through loss. Loss of a loved one, loss of a father, loss of a mother, and loss maybe even through divorce. Because when divorce happens, these children have lost a hope. It will never be the same again for these children. Whether you like it or not, whether you take them to an international school, even abroad to study, it will never be the same again like when you had this family intact again. So when loss happens, there's a way society will minimize. We don't pay attention to what will become of this child. They get stuck. Some are not able, even the grades. You'll see the grades are not good. This child was doing very well. They're not performing well because of, the loss of the parent, and the need for us to even give them the space to do. And giving, a loss leaves a scar. Leaves a vacuum that can never, even if, for example, being widowed, even if I was to think of getting married, there is no man that can replace my heart. There is no father that can be a father to my heart. My children, the same way husband was their father.
It's never the same.
It's never the same. So the truth of the matter is, children feel the pain and the need for us as a society. Be it in school, teachers being sensitive. There are teachers who are so brutal, they don't even realize this child just lost the dad again. Will it be what they are doing, the rebellion I'm seeing? But is it connected to the loss? They're trying to express themselves in this negative way. How can we? I know some schools have counselors. They have employed counselors, and that's good. As a school, you have employed a counselor. That's good. And I encourage the learners to seek for help from the counselor that you have employed. But if you don't have, kindly reach out. Let's talk about this. Let's engage this young man, this young lady, this learner who just lost a parent. How are they feeling? Are they afraid? Are you anxious? Are you concerned? Or how is the future? Do you think you're going? You just have to be there for this child and help them go through this new normal, as you call it, this new phase of their life, dealing with the loss of their life.
Do they blame themselves for the loss at times?
Partly, that moment, for example, in a divorce case, sometimes children think the parents divorced because of them. It's could it be we are the reasons why our parents are separating? We are of such a burden to our parents. Maybe if they were experiencing, let's say, financial constraint, maybe they are on like off school date, and maybe there are disagreements amongst the parents because of that. So they might feel like grieving are the reason why. So sometimes children blame themselves when loss, especially loss when divorce happens. Or even, for example, maybe suicide. A child might even blame, maybe daddy was tired of me. And that's why he decided to take his life. You know, so there are moments children blame themselves, and hence the need for them to go through some counseling sessions just to come to terms with what happens and not to blame themselves. Because this happened not because of you. It's like, for example, with a divorce, it was beyond you. Yeah, so that they don't blame themselves. Yes.
Okay. So how long can this process last with working with this child from the moment the loss has happened to maybe after burial? How long should this period be?
Well, the duration is, I wouldn't promise like the number of sessions, because from experience, when my husband died, my children refused to talk to someone. So you can't force. You know, counseling sometimes, I know sometimes schools will send, or there are places where you need to talk to someone. What if this person is not willing? How effective is that? So the duration here, until now you sit with this person, in counseling, there's what we call assessment. You do an assessment, assess. Is it turning into complicated grief, where they are developing some suicidal ideation, where they feel like living is not worth living without, that's where you have to come in and rescue or help this person or this child. But now, also when you use a therapist, a trained person, there are skills, there's a way you can help this person agree to sit in a session and just help them go through the process. So the duration, I wouldn't tell you it's 1 session, 2 sessions. It depends on the child, depends on the age, depends on the loss, loss of a life, loss of a relationship, or even, loss of a teacher. I think I talked sometimes back about a teacher being transferred in that situation in Canada. So the duration, I won't promise, but talking to a professional will determine how long that will take. Yes.
So this, when death has happened, so people come and they give you a chance to talk, they listen to you. Do you think we should give that opportunity to children?
I have to think of it. Just mommy or daddy they are talking to, and they're the ones who are sharing, and children are never asked.
Yes.
Maybe even it's a grandparent who has died. How do you feel now that grandpa or grandmother has died? How are you feeling? I believe we should give children a chance to share the loss, how that loss has affected them, what they feel about it. Are you afraid of anything now that your daddy has died? What are you scared? What are your concerns? So when you give them a chance to talk, it makes them feel that there's someone who is caring for us. It's care, actually.
Yeah.
Like when you are listening to them, when someone listens to you, you feel this person cares. They love you. They are there for you. So same to children. So giving children a chance to talk, whether it's a grandparent, is a parent, or even a sibling, whoever it is, when loss happens, let's give our children a chance also to just express themselves, what they're feeling about what they've lost.
Thank you so much. Well, knowledge is power. Involve your child, involve the children in the mourning of their loved ones, because they are also human beings. That's from us to you. Thank you for watching.